Do you remember Dad when he was little?
Oh yes, he was a funny boy.
What was he like when he was a little boy?
Full of terror.
So nothing changed then when he grew up?
No, they were both lovely.
He was a very active young man, and after he left the school in Castle Douglas, he went to Merkerson Castle School in Edinburgh. He played a lot of rugby. I was very, very, very proud of my David when he was playing for Merkerson Castle School, and he always played as a hooker, and never at any time could I find any fault with his play. Well, of course, he was married. He got married to a very nice young lady.
When we danced, he said, oh, this is a slow dance. And I thought, no, it's not, because the tempo was really upbeat. But he insisted it was a slow dance, so we did a slow dance. And I remember thinking, he feels nice, you know, he was, had nice firm arms, and so that was nice. But then I realised this was the funny bit. The funny bit was when I did actually stand apart from him and see the way he danced. That's when I realised that the reason why he wanted to slow dance was when you're that up close, you can't actually watch how he danced, you know. So.
Well, he and his dearly beloved wife Pauline started having a family, and the first addition was Rachel. The next addition was Christopher, and then there was a gap, and Janie arrived, followed by Julia. So they had 4 children in the space of 20 years. I was surprised at the last 2 arriving, to say the least.
Do you think Dad was surprised as well?
I think your mum was surprised.
And
my dad's the best dad in the world because he's a part of my family, and he always invites me to things, to do things, and like I love him, so I guess that's really all I could say.
Well, he's funny. He's really sporty, and he sometimes encourages me to do stuff. And he's he's loving. I love him.
Later on in life, he took over the running of the Imperial Hotel, and whilst he was running the Imperial Hotel, he bought the King's Arms Hotel in Castle Douglas, but he still ran the Imperial in preference to running the King's Arms, because the Imperial was much busier than the King's Arms.
Well, Rach, here I am sitting in the office of the King's Arms Hotel. The office is a big phrase to me, because one day in the Imperial Hotel I poured a pint of beer over David Yates and got banned from the Imperial. James Picken had to deliver me to the Imperial for my never-to-be-forgotten lecture from your father, who said, "I need to see you in the office." And he gave me this lecture about it was not behaviour becoming of me, and I had to behave myself in the Imperial from now on if I ever wanted to drink there again. So the coining of the phrase "the office" comes from that day. So every time I now step out of line, David wags the finger at me and says "office," and I know exactly what he means. Thank you very much.
First met David Fulton, September 1973.
Long time ago, Trev.
A long time ago.
40 years nearly. 40 years ago.
The night before we were due to start college, I bought David a pint of lager, and I had drank my pint of bitter, and David had drank about 1 inch. 3 pints later, he still hadn't finished his beer. He then says to me, "I don't drink very much," but to give him his due, he did eventually buy me a pint.
He bought him a pint back. And that was probably the only pint he ever bought anybody in college. Because by the time it got to 6:30, we had to take David home and put him to bed. He used to get up then about 10:30 when we were all drunk, didn't know what we were doing, and then proceeded to enjoy himself all night while we just felt a bit, looked fools, and that went on for most of our college lives.
Eventually, we end up in America for Fern's wedding, and his claim to fame in America was to challenge my wife and 2 more American girls to a drinking contest, which he failed miserably.
Best hooker I've ever been with, and best golfer, best friend. Thanks for inviting us. Great night. And
Right, Foo, you're not going to like this, but anyway, happy birthday. You're the worst fucking roommates I've ever had. Well, Rachel says I shouldn't be swearing, but anyway, you're one of the best pals I've ever had. That's it.
Almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Sugar's done the singing, I'll do the talking. Happy birthday, Faulty. The fucking toss.
It's nice to see you all. I'm glad and thoroughly delighted you've all managed to make it. Some have come a bit further than others. If you don't enjoy yourself, that's your own fucking fault.
Mr. Fulton, congratulations for reaching Big 6-0. Can't believe you actually made it, and you can still beat me in the golf course and on a mountain bike. Won't happen for too much longer, so reap the rewards while they may last very short few hours. Enjoy.
Like to say that I'm very proud of him. What he's done for lots and lots of people.
Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true